they kept scribing it and distributing it, and it was spreading very fast. In fact, this is one of the reasons why it was forbidden, or it was not a practice at least, to commit the tradition to writing. Hazrat sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not want the tradition to be confused with the Holy Quran. And this was also a very strict practice of Sahaba Kiram radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu, that nothing should be written except the Holy Quran. Otherwise the words of Hazrat sallallahu alaihi wasallam might be mistaken as the words of God. So this is one of the reasons why traditions were not committed in the early part. Only some Sahaba privately had short notes of some traditions, but they made it very clear, like Hazrat Ali Karramallahu Wajhahu is known to have got certain recordings of tradition, but he made it very clear that this is not a part of the Holy Book, it is a part of what Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said. But anyway, thank you for this very illuminating discourse. Many people among us didn't know all the details, and it was good that you refreshed the memories and also imparted the knowledge to some.
हुजूर, मुझे तो कोई सवाल नहीं पूछना, लेकिन बार बार मैं सोचता हूँ कि दूसरों के बेनिफिट के लिए कुछ सवाल कर लूँ, लेकिन मैं समझता हूँ शायद ये मुनाफिकत ना हो। मेरे दिल में तो ये सवाल नहीं है और मैं आपसे कोई सवाल पूछना तो बार बार मैं सोचता हूँ कि बहुत सारे ऐसे सवाल किए जा सकते हैं। अब मैं आपसे ये दरख्वास्त करता हूँ कि अगर आप ये बताएं कि हज़रत अमीर माविया और हज़रत अली में जो इतनी जंगें हुई हैं, उन दोनों की बहुत इज्जत करते हैं। गो के हज़रत माविया को खलीफा तो नहीं समझते पड़ा उनके मुकाबले में हज़रत अली के, लेकिन इज्जत और उनका एहतराम तो बाकायदा है। लेकिन उनमें आपस में जंगें इतनी शदीद हैं कि उनको पढ़कर हाँ और पता नहीं कि क्या ख्याल करें। तो हुजूर, किसी वक्त जब भी आप मौका समझें इस सवाल पर रोशनी डालें। बहुत सारे लोगों ने मुझसे भी ये बात पूछी और मेरे दिल में ये ख्याल रहा कि मैंने उन्हें सेटिस्फाई नहीं किया। हुजूर, जिस वक्त आपको
Actually, because there are two things. I do not doubt your intentions at all. You know whatever happened was right. That is not bothering you. But how it happened, you are not very clear on this. Had you been clear yourself, you would have been able to satisfy others. So before you frame your question, you better be clear on what exactly is bothering some people, what is agitating their minds about this, what are the features of this question.
Most of the people really want to be just one of them. Shia goes towards the Ali and they say Amir Muawiyah was wrong. But we have taken a position which is in the middle. We want to respect also Hazrat Amir Muawiyah, and at the same time we consider that Hazrat Ali was the right Khalifa, so we should follow. So in the walk in the middle, it's really a very difficult path.
No, but if it is difficult for you, it was also difficult for those people at that time. Now you are looking back at Khilafat, as you have inherited the concept in a set, cut and finished form. At that time this was not the case at all. The things were in the formation. Conceive yourself of a situation, project yourself into a situation where a governor appointed by Hazrat Usman radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu was far off from Medina, so much so that it took many days, many weeks in fact, to reach that part. And he was an appointed authority, and he did not know what happened in Medina after the death of Hazrat Usman radhiyallahu ta'ala. But the reports which reached him were of a very grievous nature, that he was gehraud and everybody was after him, and they were very important senior companions of Ahmad sallallahu alaihi wasallam at that time, who did not act in time to defend Khalifa. These were his sentiments, and there was no set rule for the election of Khilafat like it is now in Jamaat Ahmadiyya. Don't think that so much labor was lost on this or expended on this as it is in our time by Hazrat Muslim Maud. And he has done one of the greatest favors of his lifetime on Jamaat by compiling the whole issue in a very clear form and very clearly indicating to us the importance of Khilafat and how it should be preserved and the inherent dangers, how to avoid them. And then he has left behind a system for preservation. So this is one of the greatest things he did, and this justifies his being called a Muslim out. So this situation was not exactly like this in the time of Hazrat Usman radiyallahu ta'ala anhu or after him. So this is exactly what passed in the minds of Hazrat Muawiyah, which I have told you. So although he was ready after the election was made, it was not his contention that Hazrat Ali should be rejected as a Khalifa. His contention was that those who were responsible for the murder, they should be punished first. And then the rest would follow, the order would be established. And this was not done by Hazrat Ali Karamallah Wajh. Why? He knew the reason of it.
Sorry, what was the reason for it?
Hazrat Ali knew best. I don't know.
The history says that Hazrat Ali kept saying that he does not know the murderers and who are responsible.
Whatever it is, but the way Hazrat Muawiyah wanted this investigation to be conducted, and the way it was known that so and so were in the leading mischief mongers, and though the same names are handed down to us by history without any debate about their personalities and who they were, the identification was clear. And yet they were in the camp of Hazrat Ali Karamallahu Wajhahu. So that was a very disturbing situation for a person who was given an authority by the Khalifatul Masih of the time, Khalifatul Rasul of the time. So how can you condemn him outright like this? There must be some margin of doubt left to him. Yes, please.
So now that the question has come up, this is really a question. As Your Holiness said, once Hazrat Ali became Khalifa, and if Hazrat Muawiyah had taken the position that Hazrat Ali is Khalifa rightly elected, and only had a difference of opinion about how the retaliation in respect of the murders of Hazrat Usman.
But did I say that? He said, I am prepared to accept you as a Khalifa if you do this. I didn't say that he accepted him as a Khalifa.
If he was mentally in that condition that the Khilafat of Hazrat Ali should be accepted, then
if you act according to this, take first Qisas. Qisas was a question raised. And if you are agreeable on principle, then I will submit to you and do whatever you please. So that means he didn't accept him as a Khalifa. It was a conditional acceptance of him.
That appears to be not understandable at this point of time that we stand at that distance. But it is quite understandable when a study says that now that the situation is disturbed and there is an absolute chaos, let the things settle down and then I can find out how this
is. Neither he nor you are understanding me correctly. This is the position of Hazrat Ali to Ahmadis is very clear. There is no shadow of doubt about his bona fides and his rights and his being a Khalifa Rashid, because if there were any previously in the minds of any other Muslims, Hazrat Masih Maud has made it clear once and for all for Ahmadiyya.